I would ask a bunch. Go ahead.
Who was your favorite teammate on the Twins?
My favorite teammate? Wow, there was so many of them. I mean, I loved Joe Mauer. I loved Morneau. You know, Kadire, Punto. I had a special heart for Punto. We played in Philadelphia together, and you know, he was a great teammate. He was the guy that kind of kept our team going. You know, he wasn't an everyday player, and that goes to show you, you don't have to be an everyday player to be valuable to your team. One thing we had very, very well is we had good teammates, and to be a good teammate, you know, you got to root for your guys, and I would say Punto, for me, sticks out in that regard. Go ahead, buddy. My favorite player, wow. You know, I've been asked that. I grew up a baseball fan. You know, I grew up in Chicago, well, in Peoria, and the Cubs were on all the time on WGN. So, you know, and I just liked baseball. I just liked watching baseball. If they played the Phillies, I liked watching Mike Schmidt. If they played the Pirates, you know, I just loved being outdoors. I loved playing the game. And I think what's great about this field, it gives you guys an opportunity in the community to have a place to call your home, and to one day maybe one of you guys stand up here and do the same as I did, because I grew up in a small area outside of Peoria, and you know what, I will say this, you know, you can dream big, because dreams do come true. They really do. Dreams can come true, and here I am standing proof of that. So it's very, very cool. I did, since I was your age, since I was my son's age at 5. You know, I was just blessed with a gift, you know, to hit baseball. But yes, absolutely, it's been very great.
How many home runs have you hit?
612. 612, yeah. That's a lot. It's a real lot, and I think one of the biggest things is just, you know, is longevity. Try to have longevity, and there's going to be good and bad times in baseball. Really, there's going to be good and bad times, but if you stick with it and you're positive and you have good teammates to support you, you know, you can do great things.
Do you still play for the White Sox?
I don't play no more. No. I actually work for the White Sox right now. They brought me on this year to help them. A lot of it because I live in Chicago, and you know, it keeps me close to my kids. I'm sorry?
Do you know your highest batting average?
My highest average, I think, was 320 something one year, but that was a long time ago. I played basketball in high school, yes. I was not a football player, but I played basketball and baseball were my two sports. I got a scholarship at a junior college in my hometown in Peoria, and I signed with the Cleveland Indians back in 1989, which is a long time ago. You were not even thought of by then. Go ahead, buddy.
Have you ever ridden inside the park home run?
No. No. And I didn't really want to. I'd rather hit it over the fence than. But no, I've never hit it inside. I take that back. When I was in Little League and they didn't have fences, yes. But I'd rather there be a fence where I can hit it over it. Back there.
Who's your favorite coach?
My favorite coach, good question. You know, I had some great ones. I mean, when you say favorite, I don't like to individualize anyone. I would say Gardy's there. You know, I had Charlie Manuel, who I was with a long time in Cleveland and Philadelphia. Joe Torre, I went to LA for 2 months, and Joe Torre was our manager there. I mean, there's been a bunch of them. You know, I've been very fortunate to be around some really good coaches in my career that really helped me. it's the greatest feeling ever. I think it's why you play the game, you know, and hopefully as you guys grow and get older, you'll witness that feeling. There's nothing better than to play on a field and have people rooting for you and sometimes booing you, but the cheering factor way more than the other one.
When you were a kid, were you like way better than everybody else?
No, no, I had to work. I had to work really hard to craft my skills. And as I worked and as I believed and as I kind of grew every year, you know, I kept getting better. But then, you know, I've never, even playing 2 or 3 years in the big leagues, I never ever thought I had the game figured out. And I think it's really important because it keeps your learning there. You want to get better. And I always say that these coaches are here for a reason. Ask them questions. You know, they do a nice job at what they're doing, and they can really help you.
What's your job for the White Sox?
Assistant to the GM. I'm just a guy that goes and watches the game and gives advice and kind of watches hitters and maybe gives a point or two about, you know, the game, which has been great.
Do you ever feel nervous when you walk up to bat?
I have, sure. Yeah. You know, do you ever feel nervous? Yeah. One thing I always tried to do is I always tried to slow my breathing down when I got nervous. Because think about it, when your anxiety's high and you're nervous, you know, you're breathing, you breathe hard. I tried to calm things down with my breathing and it helped. It helped in a lot of big situations.
How many bats did you break?
A bunch. A bunch. I was not so much I either hit the ball or I didn't make contact. So, a bunch though. I broke a few bats in my career. My high school buddies, no. I was the guy, I guess, that made it, but I had a lot of my teammates in high school and then some of my college teammates too were great players, but unfortunately they didn't advance. And, you know, very good players though, very good.
Did it hurt really bad? Like a 100-mile-per-hour ball coming at you?
You know what? It might hurt for a little bit, but I don't. It's hard because you don't really think about a ball hitting you. If it does, it's almost like it hit you and then it's like over with. It happens so quick. You know, it doesn't unless it leaves a bruise, you really don't really think about it. You know, it's just part of the game. Sometimes you get hit. You know, you got to focus and get back in, and you know, and kind of hope that it don't happen again.
What was it like in your first game?
My first game, you know where my first game was? In Minnesota. My call-up in 1991 was at the Metrodome. And it was, matter of fact, my dad gave me a scrapbook that my mom had made. My mom has passed. She died like 8 years ago, and my mom made a scrapbook. And I went through the scrapbook, and it was all pictures of the old Metrodome. And like back in the early 90s, it was really cool, really cool. So maybe there's something to the state of Minnesota, you know, it's kind of neat.
All right, 2 more questions and we got to get you back to school.
In your opinion, what was the trickiest pitcher to hit against?
The trickiest, wow, that's a good question. Well, I wouldn't say he was the hardest. Randy Johnson was one of the hardest. I would say was the trickiest was Jamie Moyer. Jamie Moyer he threw like 80 miles an hour, but he had different speeds on his changeup. And he was like always trying to trick you, like adding on, taking off, adding on. How about the guy in the blue shirt back there? Yeah.
When you ever get like mad at managers or other teammates?
Do I ever get mad at teammates?
Yeah.
I get mad if they don't play hard. You know, I think, but I never like got mad at them in a sense of like, really mad. We just would have talks to get them to play hard and respect their
What about
other
your managers?
teammates. Excuse me?
What about your managers?
No, I never really got mad at my managers. No. Because I tried to play hard and they respected that. If you play the game hard, I think in the end your teammates, your parents, and your coaches will respect you.